If we buy a business, we're going to hold it forever. So we're going to have good years, bad years, in between years, maybe disastrous years. We care a lot about the price. We do not care about the next 12 months. Economic predictions just don't enter into our decisions. Charlie Munger, my partner, and I, in 54 years now, we've never made a decision based on an economic prediction. We make business predictions about what individual businesses will do over time, and we compare that to what we have to pay for them. But we have never said yes to something because we thought the economy was going to do well in the next year or 2 years, and we've never said no to anything because we were right in the middle of a panic, even if the price was right. When you get into economics, there's so many variables, and the truth is you've got to expect good times and bad times in business. And if you were to buy an auto dealership and you're, wherever you live locally, or a McDonald's franchise or anything like that, you wouldn't try and time the purchase. You'd try and make the right purchase at the right price, and you want to be sure you got a good business. But you wouldn't say, I'm going to buy it because growth this year is going to be 3% instead of 2.8% or something of the sort.
Fair enough. You have over $100 billion of cash.
Berkshire does that.
Berkshire. No, well, I don't even see how much you got. Maybe you do. Berkshire has over $100 billion in cash, and you say that you always want this company to be a fortress. So how much cash should an ordinary investor have on a percentage basis, do you think?
It depends on their personal situation. If you're working in something where you're living off your paycheck from week to week, you want to have a little cash around, and you certainly don't want to have a credit card that's maxed out or anything like that. But if your house is paid off, if you don't have big living expenses, you got a portfolio of decent diversified businesses, you don't really need any cash.
So you can be more cash-free than Berkshire is?
Yeah, if I were retired, I had say $1 million portfolio of stocks that was paying me $30,000 a year in dividends or something of the sort, and my children were growing, the house was paid off and everything. But, I wouldn't worry too much about having a lot of cash around.
Let's talk a little bit about Apple. Everyone always wants to talk about Apple, right? It's kind of the it stock, it company. You have a $45 billion stake, more or less. How closely do you follow the company? People are concerned they haven't really introduced any new products.
Well, if you have to closely follow a company, you shouldn't own it.
Really?
No. If you buy a business, if you buy a farm, you go up and look, every couple of weeks to see how far the corn is up, and you worry too much about whether somebody says this is going to be a year of low prices because exports are being affected or anything like that. You buy a farm. And you hold it for, I've got one farm that I bought in the 1980s, and my son runs it, but I've been there once, it doesn't grow faster if I go and stare at it, I can't cheer for it, more effort, or something like that. And I know there's going to be some years when prices are going to be good and some when the prices aren't going to be good. I know there's years when yields will be better than others, but I bought the farm. It just doesn't, I don't care about economic predictions on it or anything of the sort. I do care that over the years it's well tended to in terms of rotating crops, and I hope yields get better, which they generally have. In fact, that farm 100 years ago would have probably produced 30 bushels, maybe 35 bushels of corn per acre. And now in a good year, it'd be 200. We've really made progress in this country. That's one reason commodity prices, if you go back a couple hundred years, they've moved so little, is because we've just gotten better and better at whether it's cotton or whether it's corn or soybeans or all kinds of things. And you and I have benefited from that.
And so Apple is kind of like a farm.
Well, it's a long-term investment, and if you own the best auto dealership in town, the best brand, and you had somebody good running it, you wouldn't drop by every day and say, how many people have come in today, or I think interest rates are going up a little, maybe it'll slow down our sales or anything. No, you buy it knowing there's 365 days a year, You're going to own it for 20 years, so that's 7,300 days. And things are going to be different from day to day and year to year. You shouldn't buy it if the day-to-day stuff is important.